Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a moment to consider the nature of silence. We live in a world full of noise, constant stimulation, chatter, the hum of distractions, and a perpetual rush to fill every moment with sound, words, and action. Yet silence can be one of the most powerful tools we possess. It holds the potential to unlock profound transformations within us, particularly in how we relate to one another. But today, let's focus on a particular dynamic. What happens when silence enters the equation in a relationship with a man? Welcome. What happens when you go silent on him? To begin, let's explore the basic truth that silence is not the absence of sound, but the presence of a different kind of energy. It's the space between the words. It's the pause that allows room for reflection, understanding, and growth. When you choose to go silent on someone, especially on a man, you create an opportunity for both of you to move beyond the superficial and into a deeper realm of self-awareness. Now, imagine a situation. A man is accustomed to constant communication, perhaps in the form of words, expectations, or the typical flow of interaction. You choose silence. You stop responding the way he expects. What happens next is interesting. At first, he may react. There's a part of him that might feel confusion, frustration, or even anger. It's like a reflex. The mind of a man is designed to seek resolution. To move towards certainty, and silence, to him, may feel like an unresolved question. It creates tension. It creates discomfort. But if he allows himself to lean into that discomfort, something powerful can unfold. In that silence, he is given the opportunity to confront himself. It's in these moments of uncertainty that we can make the choice to grow. We can either continue to react from our automatic patterns, or we can use the silence to reflect, to process, and to come into a deeper understanding of who we really are. This is the essence of transformation. Silence in this sense is not punishment. It's a space of recalibration. It's an invitation for both individuals to connect not with the words, but with the energy that underlies them. And this, my friends, is where real connection begins. When you go silent on a man, you may be giving him the gift of his own internal dialogue. Whoa, and the true question here is, will he be able to hear it? Will he be able to sit in that space of stillness long enough to meet himself in the silence? Or will he continue to fill the space with distractions, seeking to avoid the uncomfortable but necessary confrontation with his inner world? You see, what happens when you go silent is not just about him. It's about both of you. You are not just withholding your voice. You are creating the conditions for something deeper to emerge. By going silent, you empower the other person to step into their own awareness, to reflect on their own patterns, and to potentially break free from the things that no longer serve them. You're giving them the chance to reconnect with themselves. But this, too, is an invitation for you. The moment you choose silence, you too must embody it. It's not just a tactic, it's a transformation of your own. When you go silent, you are choosing to cultivate your own inner strength, your own sense of peace, and your own understanding of what it means to be present, not only in relationship, but with yourself. In silence, we are all forced to come face to face with our own inner truths. We're stripped of the noise, the distractions, the need to respond in ways that we've been conditioned to believe are the right ways. Silence forces us to move into a deeper state of being, a state where true change happens. So, what happens when you go silent on a man? You give him and yourself the space to evolve. You create the opportunity for growth, reflection, and ultimately, the chance for a deeper, more authentic connection. It's not about playing games or holding power over another. It's about creating the space for each of you to meet yourselves and each other in a new and profound way. Silence, my friends, is not emptiness. It is the fertile ground in which transformation begins. Thank you. Silence is often misunderstood in a world that thrives on constant noise and communication. It is not the absence of sound, but the presence of something deeper, a space where clarity and understanding can emerge. In a conversation or relationship, silence can be an unsettling force. We are conditioned to fill every moment with words, to respond instantly, and to constantly engage with the people around us. Yet silence has the unique power to create a pause, a moment of stillness where something meaningful can occur. It strips away the layers of distraction, allowing both individuals to tap into something more authentic. When silence enters the equation, particularly in relationships, it forces a shift. It challenges both parties to step out of the automatic patterns of response and reaction. Without words to lean on, individuals are left to confront their own thoughts, feelings, and interpretations. In many ways, silence reveals what is beneath the surface. It makes us aware of our emotions, our fears, and the stories we tell ourselves. In this space, we are no longer hiding behind verbal communication. We are exposed to the raw truths that silence brings forward. In relationships, silence can be a tool for growth, but it also can be unsettling. It has the power to unearth unresolved issues, prompting introspection and self-awareness. A person may begin to question their behaviors, their actions, and their reactions. This questioning isn't always comfortable, but it's in the discomfort that real change happens. Silence isn't just about withholding communication. It's about offering a space to reassess, reframe, and ultimately evolve. For a man, going silent may push him into the unfamiliar, into an internal dialogue he may have been avoiding. Yet it is through this discomfort that he is given the opportunity to step into a deeper version of himself, one that is aware of the inner landscape beyond the noise. Transformation is not a sudden event. It is a gradual process that unfolds through intentional change and growth. When we enter a period of silence, we are given the chance to reset, to reconsider, and to evolve. Transformation occurs when we step outside of our habitual patterns of thinking, feeling, and reacting. In the presence of silence, we are forced to stop, to pause, and to reflect. Without the usual noise and distractions, we begin to see things more clearly. We start to notice the patterns that govern our behavior and interactions, the automatic reactions that have become second nature. This is the moment when change begins, not from external forces, but from within. Silence creates the space for personal reflection. It allows us to look inward and ask questions that we might otherwise avoid. What am I truly feeling? Why do I respond the way I do? How have my past experiences shaped my behavior today? In silence, we are encouraged to face the truth about ourselves, without the protection of words or distractions. This can be uncomfortable, even painful, but it is through this discomfort that the seeds of transformation are planted. The process of transformation involves not just intellectual understanding, but also emotional and spiritual growth. Silence allows us to connect with our deeper self, to understand our emotions, and to uncover hidden truths that we may have ignored. By removing the constant barrage of external input, we create a space where we can align with our authentic selves. As we sit with silence, we become more attuned to our own inner wisdom, and we begin to see the possibilities for change that we might have overlooked before. This journey inward is the catalyst for real transformation, one that leads to greater self-awareness, inner peace, and personal evolution. Awareness is the key to unlocking deeper understanding and growth, yet it often requires intentional effort to cultivate. In our daily lives, we are bombarded with external stimuli, distractions, and noise that prevent us from fully connecting with our inner world. We tend to focus outward, reacting to circumstances, events, and people without taking the time to tune into ourselves. Awareness, however, invites us to turn inward, to be present with our thoughts, emotions, and actions in a way that encourages personal insight and change. When silence enters our lives, it creates an opportunity for awareness to flourish. Without the constant chatter or distractions, we become more attuned to our own internal landscape. We begin to notice the subtle shifts in our thoughts, the emotional triggers that arise, and the patterns that influence our behavior. In these moments of stillness, we are no longer moving through life on autopilot. We are present, awake, and fully engaged with ourselves. This awareness is not always comfortable, as it can bring to light things we may have been avoiding or suppressing. However, it is through this process of becoming aware that we can begin to shift our perspective and create meaningful change in our lives. Awareness allows us to break free from the habitual patterns that often dictate our responses and reactions. When we are truly aware, we can pause before reacting, consider our emotions, and choose how we want to respond. In relationships, this heightened awareness can lead to more intentional interactions. It enables us to listen deeply, not just to the words spoken, but to the underlying emotions and energy that are present. This level of awareness fosters deeper connection and understanding, as we are no longer reacting from a place of unconscious habit, but instead from a place of presence and clarity. Ultimately, awareness is a transformative tool. It empowers us to see the world and ourselves with fresh eyes, to engage more consciously, and to navigate life with greater authenticity. In silence, awareness becomes our guide, showing us the path to growth, insight, and deeper connection. Growth is a natural, often unpredictable process that occurs when we step out of our comfort zones, challenge our assumptions, and allow ourselves to experience change. Growth isn't always linear or easy, but it is inevitable when we are open to it. It can manifest in many ways: emotionally, mentally, spiritually, and even physically. However, growth requires space to occur, and this space is often created through silence. When we silence the noise around us and within us, we make room for new perspectives, ideas, and self-awareness to emerge. Silence provides the pause needed for reflection, a moment to step back from the constant flow of information and demands that we typically face. In this quiet space, growth is not forced or rushed, but allowed to unfold naturally. We are given the opportunity to examine our current state, our behaviors, and our beliefs without distraction. This introspection is a crucial step in growth, as it allows us to see where we might be holding ourselves back, where we might need to heal, and where we might need to evolve. In the absence of external pressures, we are better able to listen to our inner voice, which can guide us toward the next phase of growth. When we choose silence, we are also allowing ourselves to process the emotions and experiences that have shaped us. Sometimes growth requires us to face uncomfortable truths about ourselves. Silence offers the space to sit with these emotions and experiences without the need for external validation or explanation. It's a time to understand ourselves more deeply and identify areas where we want to change or improve. It's through this process of reflection that growth becomes possible. Furthermore, growth is not just an individual pursuit. In relationships, silence can facilitate the growth of connection and understanding. When we are silent, we give others the space to process their own thoughts and emotions, leading to more meaningful, genuine exchanges. This space is essential for mutual growth, as it fosters a deeper sense of empathy and respect for one another's journey. Growth is both personal and collective, and silence acts as a catalyst for both. Energy is an unseen force that drives everything around us. It is what fuels our thoughts, actions, and relationships. While we often focus on the physical manifestations of energy, what we can see, touch, or measure, there is a much subtler form of energy that operates within us and between us. This subtle energy is what influences how we communicate, how we connect, and how we respond to the world around us. Silence has the unique ability to shape and shift this energy. It holds a quiet but powerful potential to recalibrate our inner and outer worlds. When we engage in silence, we remove the constant flow of external stimulation that typically drains or depletes our energy. Instead of reacting to the world around us, we create an inner space that allows us to become more attuned to our own energy. In this state, we begin to notice how our thoughts, emotions, and even our physical sensations are linked to the energy we carry. Silence offers us the opportunity to observe these energies without judgment, allowing us to become more aware of how we use our energy and where it is being directed. In relationships, silence can be particularly powerful. It has the ability to shift the dynamic between individuals by allowing a new kind of energy to emerge. Instead of the usual exchange of words and actions, silence creates a space where nonverbal communication, body language, presence, and emotional resonance becomes the dominant form of interaction. This can open up new avenues of connection as people begin to understand each other on a deeper, more energetic level. Silence encourages the flow of energy between individuals in a way that words often cannot, creating a sense of unity and understanding that transcends verbal communication. Additionally, silence allows us to conserve our energy and use it more wisely. In a world that constantly demands our attention and involvement, we often give away our energy without realizing it. Silence, however, invites us to reclaim that energy, to focus it inward, and to use it for personal growth, reflection, and connection. By consciously choosing silence, we harness the power of our energy, guiding it toward what truly matters. Connection is a fundamental human need, one that transcends words, actions, and physical proximity. It is the invisible thread that binds people together, creating a sense of unity, understanding, and shared experience. While many people view connection as something built through constant communication, shared experiences, or verbal expression, it is often the moments of silence that allow for the most profound connections to occur. Silence has the ability to bring people closer in a way that words cannot. It creates a space where individuals can truly see and hear each other, not just through what is said, but through what is felt. In moments of silence, people are given the opportunity to listen deeply, not just with their ears, but with their hearts. When there are no words to fill the space, the subtle energy between two people becomes the primary means of communication. This energy speaks volumes. It conveys emotions, intentions, and understanding in ways that words often fail to do. Silence allows individuals to tune into each other's presence, to feel the depth of the connection, and to experience the shared energy of the moment. This is where true intimacy and understanding are built. Silence also fosters a sense of equality and connection. In a conversation, there is often a push and pull, a give and take of verbal exchanges. But in silence, the need for dominance or control dissolves. There is no pressure to respond, to fill the space with words or explanation. Instead, both people are simply present with one another, allowing the connection to evolve naturally without external influence. In this way, silence can deepen the bond between people, as it allows both individuals to be vulnerable, authentic, and fully engaged in the moment. In relationships, whether personal or professional, the power of silence cannot be underestimated. It allows for moments of clarity, reflection, and mutual understanding, creating an environment in which true connection can flourish. Silence has the power to bring people together in ways that words cannot replicate, fostering a deeper sense of empathy, trust, and shared experience. Self-discovery is a lifelong journey that often requires moments of deep introspection. It's through these moments of quiet reflection that we begin to peel back the layers of who we truly are. In our fast-paced world, it's easy to become distracted by external expectations, social norms, and the opinions of others. We are constantly told how to think, act, and be, which can make it difficult to truly know ourselves. Silence, however, offers a unique opportunity to reconnect with our innermost thoughts and feelings, allowing us to explore the depths of our being without the interference of outside influence. When we embrace silence, we give ourselves permission to stop and listen to the voice within. This internal voice often gets drowned out by the noise of daily life, but in silence it becomes clearer. We start to hear the subtle cues from our body, mind, and spirit, guiding us toward a better understanding of who we are at our core. Silence allows us to confront our fears, our insecurities, and our desires in a way that can't be done when we're constantly engaged with the outside world. It's in these moments of stillness that we are most likely to uncover truths about ourselves that have been buried under layers of distraction and external influence. Through self-discovery, we gain a clearer understanding of our strengths and weaknesses, our passions, and our purpose. Silence serves as a mirror, reflecting back to us the parts of ourselves that we may have ignored or overlooked. By allowing ourselves to sit in silence, we provide the space to ask the difficult questions. Who am I without the labels I've been given? What do I truly want in life? What fears am I holding on to that are preventing me from moving forward? In this process of self-discovery, silence becomes a powerful tool for personal growth, allowing us to peel back the layers of conditioning and discover the authentic self that lies beneath. Communication is a cornerstone of human connection, yet the way we communicate extends beyond just the words we speak. In fact, much of communication is nonverbal, relying on body language, energy, and even silence to convey messages. We often think of communication as a back-and-forth exchange, a rapid-fire volley of words meant to convey thoughts and intentions. However, there is a quiet power in pausing, in taking a step back from the need to speak and allowing silence to take the lead. When we embrace silence in communication, we create the space for deeper understanding and more meaningful connection. Silence in communication can be far more powerful than words alone. It can express emotions that are difficult to articulate, such as empathy, love, or grief. A pause can convey more than a long explanation, allowing the other person to process what has been said. or to reflect on their own thoughts. In many ways, silence holds the potential to be more meaningful than anything we could put into words. It invites the other person to step into their own thoughts, to connect with their own feelings, and to experience a moment of clarity. When silence is used in communication, it allows both parties the chance to listen, truly listen, without the rush to respond. It is in these moments of stillness that people feel heard and understood, not just through words, but through presence. Silence also offers a chance for reflection. In conversation, we often don't give ourselves enough time to truly process what is being said before we jump into a response. Silence allows us to reflect on the conversation, to consider our feelings and reactions, and to choose our next words with more intention. Silence in communication fosters a deeper connection because it transcends the superficial and creates an opening for the unsaid, the underlying emotions, and the true essence of what is being communicated. It holds the power to transform relationships, making them more authentic and grounded in mutual respect and understanding. Communication is the bridge that connects us to others, and often, it's through the exchange of words that we seek to convey our thoughts, emotions, and intentions. However, beneath the surface of verbal communication lies a deeper layer of understanding. Words, while powerful, are limited in their ability to fully capture the complexity of human experience. There are things we feel but cannot articulate, emotions we struggle to express, and thoughts that are too vast to fit into language. This is where silence plays a crucial role. Silence isn't just the absence of words, it's the presence of something more profound. When we choose silence, we open up the opportunity to communicate on a deeper level. Silence creates space for reflection, for introspection, and for connection beyond words. It is in those quiet moments that we can truly process our own thoughts and emotions. In relationships, silence allows both parties to pause and absorb what has been said, to absorb the energy of the moment, and to engage with the conversation from a place of presence and clarity. Silence helps us listen in ways that words cannot. It encourages us to hear not just what is being spoken, but what remains unsaid, the emotions, the intentions, and the deeper truths that exist beneath the surface. In many cases, silence can be the most honest form of communication. When words fail us, silence steps in and speaks volumes. It allows us to communicate our feelings without the need for articulation, to convey empathy, understanding, or even discomfort in ways that words alone might not be able to do. Silence becomes a tool for understanding one another, not through explanation, but through presence. It offers a chance to connect on a deeper level, to truly hear each other, and to engage with each other's experience in a way that transcends verbal expression. It fosters a space where words are no longer necessary because the energy of connection is already present. Presence is one of the most profound aspects of human interaction, yet it is often overlooked in a world that constantly demands our attention. In our fast-paced lives, we are frequently distracted by technology, the rush of daily responsibilities, and the noise that surrounds us. We may physically be present in a room with someone, but mentally, emotionally, and energetically we are often miles away. Presence, however, is a gift we can give not just to others, but to ourselves as well. It is the act of truly being in the moment, free from distractions, and fully engaged with the person or situation in front of us. When we practice presence, we are more than just present in body. We are present in mind, spirit, and energy. This kind of presence allows us to connect with others on a deeper level, as it creates a sense of mutual awareness and understanding. In relationships, when we are truly present, we listen deeply, not just to the words being spoken, but to the underlying emotions, the body language, and the energy that is being exchanged. Presence in this context means being fully attuned to the person before us, with no distractions or preoccupations. In silence, presence becomes even more powerful. It's in those moments of stillness that we can experience the full depth of the present moment. When there are no words to fill the space, presence takes center stage. We are left with nothing but the energy between us, the unspoken connection that binds us together. This is where true understanding happens, not through the things we say, but through the way we show up for each other. Silence allows us to be more present with ourselves too, as it strips away the noise and external influences that often prevent us from connecting to our own inner wisdom and truth. Presence is transformative. It fosters deeper relationships, greater self-awareness, and a profound connection to the world around us. When we embrace presence, we embrace the fullness of the moment, the depth of connection, and the richness of life itself.